Students, welcome again in your geography online class. In the last video, we have done weathering, where we have studied about the exogenic processes and the concept of weathering. So today we are going to study about the processes involved in weathering in details. The processes of weathering are conveniently divided into physical, chemical and biochemical processes, which are interrelated to each other. However, weathering is mainly of two types, mechanical or physical and chemical weathering. There is another type of weathering processes known as biological process, which involve the processes of both the mechanical and chemical weathering. When disintegration of rocks takes place without any change in chemical composition of minerals, it is called mechanical or physical weathering. This is a physical process in which the rock is broken into smaller pieces, each retaining the characteristic of the original rock. Temperature, frost, moisture and water, wind, plants and trees, animals are the agents of physical or mechanical weathering. Mechanical weathering is predominant in hot and cold ages, cool climate and dry temperature regions, polar and tundra region, taiga regions, etc. Block disintegration, a type of physical weathering. In dry climatic environment, rocks develop joints and cracks through successive process of expansion and contraction and ultimately break down into smaller blocks. This process is known as block disintegration. Exfoliation. When the rock consists of homogeneous minerals like granite, the thin surface layer of rocks absorb heat during the day and expands. During the night, this surface layer contracts than inner ones and are peeled off one after another like an onion. This is known as exfoliation or onion peeling. Granular disintegration. This process of mechanical weathering is common in heterogeneous rocks composed of various minerals. For example, dark-colored minerals will absorb more heat and expand to a greater extent than light-colored minerals. Such alteration, expansion and contraction between day and night leads to a breakup into rock into smaller fragments. This is called granular disintegration. Frost action. The action of frost can be seen in cold countries. After a rainfall, some of the water enters into the joints and cracks of rock. It freezes due to fall of temperature at night. This frozen frost expands and requires more space. These joints and cracks widen, and in this time, the rocks break up and split into pieces. Chemical weathering. This process involves the decomposition of rocks by chemical means, changing their mineral composition. This type of weathering results from the action of weak acids and gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, etc. Now let's discuss the different types of chemical weathering. Oxidation is the process in which the oxygen combines with minerals of a rock, particularly iron compounds, and decays it. As a result of oxidation, rocks get rusted as iron is rusted due to presence of air and water. The original color is changed into red, yellow or brown. Carbonation. When the carbon dioxide mixed in water affects the rocks, it is known as carbonation. Thus, carbonation refers to the absorption of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by minerals present in the rocks. Carbonation is the reaction of carbonate or bicarbonate ions with minerals. The process of carbonation is known as solution. Hydration is the process in which water combines with a mineral. When rainwater enters the rocks, it increases the volume of rocks and reduces the minerals to powder. Hydrolysis. When water combines itself with certain mineral compounds, there is true chemical change. The process called hydrolysis thus produces a new and different compound. Apart from mechanical weathering and chemical weathering, There is another type of weathering caused by biological elements like man, plants, and animals. This type of weathering is called biological weathering. Biological weathering refers to disintegration, breakup, and decomposition of rock masses by plants, animals, and activities of man. This type of weathering includes both mechanical disintegration as well as chemical decomposition. Mechanical disintegration: the roots of trees and plants enters the crack, joints, and hollows and loosen the rock from inside. Animals: burrowing of animals such as rodent, insect, and worm loosen particles in rocks. Many activities of man such as mining, quarrying, agriculture practices, etc., adding to the weathering of rocks. Chemical decomposition: decomposed leaves, stems, flowers, etc. form humus which mixed with water form acids to react with the rocks and leads to chemical weathering. Decomposition of animals result in the formation of organic acids which may react with minerals present in rocks. This leads to chemical weathering. Thus, biological weathering may be mechanical and chemical in nature. Thank you, students. In the next video, effect of weathering and soil formation will be our next topic.